I think Monica Goodling holds the keys to the kingdom. I think if they get her to testify under oath with a transcript and have her describe the process between the information flow between the White House counsel, the White House, and the Justice Department, I believe the picture becomes a lot clearer.
So if Karl Rove or one of his deputies wanted to influence something in your department, they would work through her, through Monica Goodling?
Yes, she wore two hats. She was the counselor to the Attorney General. She was also the White House liaison. So her job was to serve as a conduit of information between the Justice Department and the White House.
Hi, this is Paul Kiel from TPMtv, filling in for Josh Marshall. It's Wednesday, May 24th, 2007. This morning, Monica Goodling is going to go up to the House Judiciary Committee to testify, starting about 10:15, day-long testimony. So here's our TPM primer of what to look for in her testimony. Now, Goodling, remember, attended Regent University Law School, which is Pat Robertson's creation, going straight from there to work as a research assistant with the Republican National Committee in the 2000 election. In a prior episode, we had a little clip of Monica's activity there, working under Tim Griffin.
Okay. Hey, Monica, how are we looking on that?
And then from there, she went to the Justice Department and kind of worked her way up in different public relations positions, finally becoming the White House liaison, the Justice Department official who's in charge with communicating with the White House. So what role did Monica Goodling play at the Justice Department? Obviously, we know that she was a White House liaison, which means that she was, her job was to talk to the White House all the time. But also, if you look at the U.S. Attorney scandal itself, she's all over it. The major meetings, for instance, the famous November 27th meeting that Alberto Gonzalez can't remember very well, when they decided on the game plan for the firings.
I recall making the decision.
When?
Sir, I don't recall when the decision was made.
She was at all these meetings that took place later when they decided what they were going to tell Congress about the firings. She also was the person to deal with angry Republicans who wanted to complain about U.S. attorneys who weren't doing enough about Democratic voter fraud, for instance, New Mexico's David Iglesias. And then you also have the emails, where she's all over the emails. In mid-2006, for instance, she was working very closely with Kyle Sampson and the White House to get Karl Rove's former aide Tim Griffin installed as U.S. Attorney in Little Rock, Arkansas. She also seems to have played a major role in the brainstorming sessions that Justice Department officials had in order to figure out why they had fired these people and what they were going to tell Congress about why they'd fired these people. And of course, she also worked closely with Kyle Sampson, who was obviously the center of the firing scheme. Both seem to have had a similar level of inexperience prosecuting cases.
Should we be concerned with the experience level of the people who are making these highly significant decisions for United States attorneys?
Senator,
and I reference in particular an email between you and Monica Goodling. Do you know whether Monica Goodling has ever tried a case?
I don't know.
Goodling didn't want this day to happen. When Democrats asked her to testify a couple of months ago, she invoked her Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination, and her lawyer called Democrats all sorts of names and compared them to Senator Joe McCarthy for implying that she had actually committed some sort of crime from her invocation of the Fifth Amendment. But Democrats got her immunity, and so she's going up there without any worry about any criminal fallout from her conduct. Goodling's job was to talk to the White House. So obviously a question people will have is, what did Karl Rove's office have to say about certain things? What did the White House counsel's office have to say about certain people or why they put on the list? Goodling, much more than any other Justice Department official, would have been, or her job was to be familiar with what the White House thought about things. So it'd be very interesting to see what she has to say. But Democrats over the last couple months have been calling up the Justice Department officials who were supposedly involved with the United States Attorney firings and asking the questions in closed-door interviews. And apparently what has happened is, to a man, they've said that they were not responsible for adding the names of the 6 U.S. attorneys who are at the center of the scandal to the list. And they don't even know, they can't even tell congressional investigators how these people got this list or why they're on there. So that's certainly a question for Goodling. Where did you put these names on the list? Did you put them on the list on behalf of the White House, and why were they put on there? If she doesn't have an answer for that, then it's not clear how the names got on the list. This is Paul Kiel for TPM Media, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.